we'll talk now to John Alle in just a moment. John is a businessman. He owns some properties at Santa Monica, 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica. And the LA Times had an absolutely astonishing piece of journalistic garbage yesterday, where they tried to figure out why Santa Monica is broke, and they settled on everything but the top 2 reasons, which is rampant homelessness and also the crime associated with it, and also completely ignored that Santa Monica started spiraling down quickly when the Black Lives Matter riots destroyed many businesses that were never seen again, between setting fires and smashing their windows and stealing all the stuff. And anything about the Black Lives Matter riots or the unbelievable sick homelessness was not mentioned. They want to blame everything on one police dispatcher who sexually abused 180 kids, and it's cost the city $229 million, which is part of the issue, but far from all the issue. And it's the tax revenues that are down drastically because of all the reasons I mentioned. And the LA Times, Salvador Hernandez and Richard Winton simply will not print the truth. And their bosses won't print the truth. Their editors, they refuse to. But, you know, I looked up another LA Times story yesterday. I checked the writer's bio. I always do. And she had pink hair. Yeah. Imagine being an LA Times journalist and you've got pink hair. And that's just representative. It's all left-wing, progressive, lunatic people in their 20s. They're the same people who, well, we won't go through the whole list, but you see them acting out everywhere. Let's get John Alle on. John Alle's the businessman. And he's been on our show many times, desperately trying to wake people up in the city. John, how are you?
Good. John, it's called transactional politics. It's a passion for the pension. Santa Monica the homelessness is draining Santa Monica's revenues. The city has the highest tax residents and businesses in the country, has the highest sale taxes in California, highest transfer tax on the sale of real property in the state, if not the country. Santa Monica is spending last year and just last month, coincidentally, $55 million a year on grants to NGOs, ineffective homeless services, which is really a broad term, and nonprofits like the People Concern, Venice Family Clinic, Claire Matrix. That and the annual declaration of a homeless emergency just adds more paid staff and higher numbers of transient addicts. And you know what? It's a sad, endless circle. There's no good end, because this city council in Santa Monica has stood by as they allow Barbara Ferrer from the County Department of Public Health and Supervisor Lindsay Horvath to pay the Venice Family Clinic to distribute needles, meth pipes in the parks. Even our own mayor, who's against the program, said she doesn't want to push Supervisor Horvath too hard on this issue because, quote, the city may need her help securing funds for other needs. So we believe, and we're pushing hard, until all the nonprofits and grantees of city funds can define what success is and verify how many people they have sent home, show how every dollar was spent, funding should be put on pause.
It's stunning how much damage these nonprofits, these NGOs, which are non-government organizations, what they've done. I mean, they've really stolen all the money, and nothing works. None of their programs work. They make them worse. I mean, when you start feeding drugs and drug paraphernalia to the drug addicts, you've completely lost it. That's the worst possible thing to do. We got services for drug addicts. There's no services for people. The people, the taxpayers, the business owners, the homeowners. There's no services for them. There's services for the drug addicts.
You hit it right on. Santa Monica is ground zero for homeless frauds. very poor due diligence on selection of city manager and overall disdain for downtown property owners. It assesses for simply owning property on the 3rd Street Promenade, Ocean Avenue, nearby. City leaders right now are living in a different reality. They're in a bubble. And yet they have the highest paid employees in the nation. And we have a new city manager who forced our police chief to resign or be fired and says we don't need more police. and the police chief tells us over 75% of arrests are homeless related.
And so is this one big joke to the city council because they and all their worker friends are getting paid lots of money, so they're looting the place until it dies?
That's what's happening. And we're seeing more and more housing with quote-unquote wraparound services go into suburban areas on Wilshire. In the next 4 years, you'll see a lot of changes that just add more homeless on the streets unless we change. And we're getting a more engaged electorate, which is good. But we'll see. I mean, the last election, 25% of residents voted for council because they didn't know who was running. And 75% of those same people voted for state, regional, and federal races. So that's got to change.
It's been a long time coming, though. This spiral has been going on for so many years, and we've talked with you before, and you're always hopeful that the next round of elections, people are waking up, they're starting to get it. And I'm thinking, how much you just have to walk outside for an hour, and it should be clear that you have to vote everyone out of office with no exceptions. An hour, just walk up and down the promenade, walk to Santa Monica Place. It's astounding.
Well, we've asked our council members, our mayors, to walk with us, walk into the stores with us. And that's what we're trying to do.
But they don't.
Downtown
See, the thing
Santa
is,
Monica, they don't do it.
All right,
and they're not encouraging any of the retailers to stay. We have an interesting banner on the 3rd Street Promenade, and it's of fellow Santa Monican, Stephen Miller, who was a 1992 or 93 grad. His family still lives in the city, and he's the deputy chief of staff to our president. Yeah. He's someone that we should revere. On the other hand, we have a mayor who said that she'd rather not associate his name with our city. Something wrong there.
I've never seen a city go through this and spiral down so fast. And you talk about taking them on a walk, but they know it's there. They don't care. And I guess that's the part I'm trying to understand. Are they all looting so much money that they find it entertaining that people like you are waving your hands and saying, we have to fix this, we have to do this, please come with me, let's walk? Do they just look at everybody as a bunch of poor saps, and they're laughing their asses off, and they're raking in six-figure salaries, and all their buddies at the nonprofits are getting six-figure salaries, and they know much of the public is just too dumb, too ignorant, too out of touch to care? And it's like, we've got because the tax revenues are way down. They're way down.
Way down. Our coalition now has about 7,000 people that are active behind the scenes. And what's going to happen is what happened in 2014. The county grand jury ruled Santa Monica to be the most, if not one of, the worst financially managed cities in all of LA County. 88 cities, Santa Monica was on top, in addition to crime, currently. And we'll see something happen, whether it's from Washington, whether it's help from outside, but the status quo won't continue. And that's what we're calling attention to. Santa Monica is the focus, even though it's not safe enough to host volleyball, beach volleyball. It's the centerpiece. When you think of LA, you think of the Hollywood sign, you think of the pier, you think of the ocean. We've got to fix this, and if we don't fix it in the city, it'll be fixed for us by the feds.
I think the feds have to come in. Because I think the people on the city council and the people working in the government, they're doing this on purpose. They don't care. they have a huge gravy train, and they're taking the money, and they're probably stocking the money away on, some on the Cayman Islands or the Bahamas or wherever you can hide and not get taxed. They've got to be doing that because nobody sane would do this stuff. So it's got to be they're all enjoying the racket. This has got to be by design.
They feel they're doing their job when they award contracts to NGOs and nonprofits.
Yeah.
But then the auditors who have been with the city council for years, since 2014, look over their books and find out that there's missing funds, unaccounted for.
Yeah,
funds.
that's what I'm saying.
And it goes on and on. And
as long as they have the homeless,
we need an independent auditor.
As long as they have the homeless, they can shovel all this tax money to these nonprofits, and then everybody takes their cut and hides the money. It's a massive criminal operation, the Santa Monica city government. John Alley, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you, John.
Okay, John Alley.
You're listening to John Kobylt on demand from KFI AM 640.
Moist line for Friday. Do it. 877-MOIST-86. 877-MOIST-86. We use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can follow us at John Kobylt Radio on social media. We want to get to 35,000 followers next. That's at John Kobylt Radio. We just had John Alley on. He's a businessman. Santa Monica has some properties on the promenade about this atrocious, false, twisted lie that the LA Times published about Santa Monica, dire fiscal crisis, and almost no mention that the revenues are way down because of all the homelessness and the frightening crime that the homeless people commit. And people are scared, and no mention on how the Black Lives Matter riots destroyed a lot of businesses some years ago. And now tourism is way down, and tax revenues are down. Retail revenues way down. You know where else this has happened? Because of the progressives and the corrupt machine they built to steal money. The biggest mall in San Francisco at 865 Market Street, the San Francisco Center. It is now, because of homelessness and crime and progressive politics, it is now 93% empty. 93% empty. Its value is now down to $195 million. It was worth $1 billion more in 2016. And it's in it's also in a lease default legal situation. Apparently, the San Francisco Unified School District owns part of the land that the mall sits on, and it gets rent payments. And it looks like whoever owns the San Francisco Center, they can't pay the rent on the land. 6 more restaurants have closed. In April, Bloomingdale's closed, and it was all crime and homelessness. It was all crazy people. It was drug addicts and mental patients. That was a huge shopping center in downtown San Francisco. 93% empty. Santa Monica Place is 70% empty. And you can say all you want. It's like, well, a lot of people buy their stuff on Amazon. Go to suburban shopping malls. There's a lot of business there, a lot of restaurants. It's safe. Go to shopping malls in Orange County. It's fun. It's safe. Kids still go. It's still fun to shop. They actually destroyed 2 of the best cities in the nation, Santa Monica and San Francisco. And they rigged a system where they kept the homeless. They increased the supply of homelessness so they could increase the supply of programs that the tax money funds that they can get grants for. And they all make a fortune. They all make a bloody fortune running these fake nonprofits, these fake non-governmental organizations, funded by taxes, funded by donations, funded by grants. But in order to make all that money, you need more homeless people. And so they figured out the system. Let people act out in the streets, all their mental patient insanity, all their drug addiction. If they die in the streets, they die in the streets. No big deal. No big deal. There'll be more to replace them. There actually will. Karen Bass, mayor of San Francisco, the old mayor, London Breed, the LA City Council, the Santa Monica City Council, they're all willfully killing all these homeless people. I told you there was one today around the corner from me, dying in the street, laying in the hot sun in front of a restaurant, right on San Vicente Boulevard. They don't care if they die. That's what's really, they don't care that they die. And the rest of the public doesn't care that they have a mayor and city council members who don't care if these people die in public, like in front of them as they're walking to the grocery store. As you're walking to the drugstore, you have to step over a man dying of a drug overdose or God knows what disease he has. Karen Bass doesn't care. Inexplicable. Human nature, what's become here in California, absolutely inexplicable. And people are terrified. Normal people are terrified she's going to win again because there aren't any opponents announced yet. She's not running against anybody. Honestly, I know so many people beside themselves, and they want to sell because she wins again. Got 5 more years of this. Oh, she'll clean up for the Olympics, and then what? For the Olympics, that's so galling. That's so enraging. More coming up.